First of all, Nigel Farage is just pathetic. I think Matt Goodwin needs to change his name to Matt Badloss. And the unprovoked attack was quite shameful. It's illegal.
Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Hugo Harvey here, and you're about to watch my interview with Green Party Deputy Leader Mothin Ali, who I ask about the Greens' recent victory in Gorton and Denton, the attacks on Iran, and being Muslim in British politics. I hope you enjoy. How do you feel about the result in Gorton and Denton?
Absolutely ecstatic. You know, it's such an amazing breakthrough there. We went from a standing start. We built networks into the communities. We've created relationships. We've shown the community that we're actually going to stick around and make a difference for their lives. And I think that's just a foundation and a springboard for May 26. And then that'll be a springboard for the general elections. We're just going to keep going. We've done something that's so groundbreaking that it's going to just project us now.
And there's been some like controversy in terms of how the reform has decided to handle the loss with regard to family voting, and even proposing removing the right to vote from non-British citizens. How do you react to those kinds of claims?
First of all, Nigel Farage is just pathetic. He's just such a big baby, innit? He's just very, very sour grapes. You know, it's one of the nice things about British culture is whether we win or we lose, we show dignity and we show humility. And this is just pathetic. To attack our democratic system and to suggest that there was foul play. You know, I was in those voting polling stations, and I saw the way the presiding officer and the staff handle things. You know, I didn't see anyone, more than one person going to a voting booth. I didn't see anyone instruct them. Where people were struggling, the presiding officer or some of the staff members would explain to them how they can vote and what to do. So I don't know where these rumours have come from, but I think a lot of it is quite exaggerated. And because it's a black and brown community, you know, a large black and brown population, large Muslim population, we're just an easy target. And Nigel Farage and Matt Goodwin and all the far right actors can just spew their bile at a marginalised community. Yeah, I think it's quite disgusting.
And when they reference the presence of let's say of those black and brown communities, they often refer to the preoccupation with international issues over domestic issues. How do you react to that kind of framing of the situation?
Again, I think that's just behaviour of a poor loser. You know, I think Matt Goodwin needs to change his name to Matt Badloss. It's quite shameful the way they behaved. We were campaigning about potholes in the roads. We were campaigning about poor schooling. We were campaigning about the NHS. We were campaigning about trying to get student loans and that whole area and education for our young people, as well as other issues, as well as international issues. So when we talk to people, we talk to them about a broad spectrum of issues that concern them. And this is one of the most shameful things is like, why should politicians not represent the communities that they represent the views of the communities that they represent? If an international issue is playing on the community's mind, then the politicians should be reflective of that. You know, politicians are there to serve. They're there to be the voice of the community. The community is not a vehicle for a politician to further their career. I think that has to change, and we have to go back to grassroots democracy and putting people's voices at the very forefront of whatever we as politicians do.
And so to ask you about one international issue that's obviously in the news right now is, how do you react to the US's attack on Iran, and how the British government might have, what their approach has been to the situation?
My attitude to anything when it comes to war is people first. You have to put ordinary people's lives at the very forefront. That's the way I approach politics. That's the way I approach pretty much everything in my life. So that said, what's happened in Iran and the unprovoked attack was quite shameful. It's illegal. You know, it is an unprovoked attack. In the middle of a negotiation, Israel and America have gone on the attack, and now they've potentially gone for regime change. I don't think it should be up to a third country to tell country A what to do and how to behave. But that said, Iran needs to make sure that its people have freedom. The regime has to make sure that the people have freedom, people's rights are respected, and people's lives are protected. If it's not doing that, it's not serving its community and it's not serving its people, and things need to change.
And one last quick question in relation to that is that you're a prominent voice as a Muslim politician and especially associated with the Green Party, and you've even been attacked on it for your stand for your election and your comments about Gaza. Do you ever feel, and even a lot of questions about trans rights and stuff, do you ever feel a burden of representation as a Muslim politician to be overly scrutinized and overly watched for what you say?
In my 40s, right? I've grown up through the era of the BNP while they were still fizzling out, but through their era, and I'm seeing that recycle itself. Throughout my schooling, throughout everything, being a minority, you always have to prove yourself up beyond everyone else. You have to be exceptional to make sure that you're at a level playing field. So we don't get the benefit of that out, you know. I'm one of the few Muslims who have ever made it into a leadership position in any political party. I can think of less than a handful. Is it fair? No, it's not. But that's the reality that we've got to deal with. So I've got to continue making sure that I speak truth to power, and I'm held accountable when I don't do that. And I make sure I provide a voice for the voiceless. People can talk the nonsense, let them. As long as I can continue doing my work and helping people change people's lives, I keep going.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with Mothin Ali. If you're interested in more of my content, check out my past interviews with people like Zara Sultana MP or Zach Polanski, or subscribe to see what's to come. Thank you for watching.